Good day, everyone. Today's topic is on linear inequalities. Before I'm going to discuss to you on how to find the solution of linear inequalities, let me give you an overview first on how to graph inequalities in a number line and how to write the solution in interval notation. Now, before I explain number one, we know that if we have a number line, okay, so if this is 0, from 0 to the left, that is negative, and this arrow means we are going to the negative infinity. And so to the right of 0, those are numbers with positive sign until we reach to the positive infinity. Now, suppose in number 1, we have a solution which is x is greater than 5. Meaning the value of our x in the given inequality should be greater than 5. It could be 5.5, 5.6, it could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the positive infinity. So those are the possible values of x. So suppose our 5 is here, and we know that 5 is not included in the solution because it says that x should be greater than 5, meaning 5 is not included, so we are going to mark it with an open circle. This open circle tells us that 5 is not included, and we will shade or color going to the right because going to the right of 5 is greater than 5, but going to the left of 5 is less than 5. Now, so this is the graph of the inequality now. So with an open circle and shaded to the right, which means that our x is greater than 5, and then there. Now, how to write it in interval notation? In interval notation, we are going to use two symbols, the parenthesis and the bracket. When are we going to use parenthesis and bracket? This open circle means that we are going to use parentheses. Now, we are going to start to the leftmost of the answer. So if this is your answer in the graph, the leftmost is 5 and the rightmost is going to positive infinity. So to write that one in interval notation, since 5 is not included, so we will use parentheses. And then you write 5, and going to the right is the positive infinity. So that's the interval notation now. Example number 2. X is less than 5. Again, if this is 0 and if this is 5, again, x is less than 5, meaning 5 is not included. So we are going to draw an open circle, which tells us that 5 is not included. And since it's less than 5, so this time, we will shade going to the left of 5. So this is the left, this is the right. And so to write that in interval notation, so we have to start to the left. So we have negative infinity, and we will stop at positive 5. Or 5 is not included, so we use parentheses. Okay. Now, example number 3. We have x is less than or equal to 5. So, if this is 0 here, and this is 5 here, it says that x is equal to 5 or less than 5. So, meaning 5 is included. So, if 5 is included in the solution, what we're going to do this time is we are going to draw a circle, but it should be shaded, or it's like that. This shaded circle means that 5 is included in the solution, and we go to the left because it says x is less than or equal to 5. So this is negative infinity here. So this is the left side and that is the right side, right? So to write that in interval notation, we start with the negative infinity from the left. Going to the right is 5, which 5 is included. So write 5. And then this time we will use bracket. So that's how are we going to write that solution x less than or equal to 5 in interval notation. Number 4, we have x is equal or greater than 5. So if this is our 0 here and this is our 5 here, 5 is equal, or x is equal, okay, so to 5. So equal to 5 meaning closed circle again, or greater than 5. And then since this is positive infinity here, so that we will shade that one. And how are we going to write that in interval notation? So this is left, this is right. So we will start to the left. So we have, since 5 is included, it's a closed circle. So we will use bracket and then write 5. And we will stop at positive infinity. That's all. Now I'm going to explain to you linear inequalities. We are going to find the solution, graph the solution in the number line, and we're going to write it in interval notation. So let's start with example number 1. Number 1 is 2x plus 4 is greater than 16. So we need to find the value of x, or the possible values of x. So to do that, we need to transpose 4 to the other side of the inequality. So we will have 2x is greater than 16. Transpose 4, it will become minus 4. So we have now 2x greater than 12. So since we have 2 as the coefficient of x, so we will divide both sides by 2. So this will be cut out. X now is greater than 6. So to graph that into the number line, we will do this number line. And since we have x is greater than 6, so we'll write 0. And if this is 6 here, 6 is not included in the solution. So we draw an open circle. And then we will shade going to the positive infinity. So this is negative infinity, positive infinity. So this is now the graph of the inequality. Now, how are we going to write that in interval notation? So if this is the left side and this is the right side, we start always with the left. So we will use, since 6 is not included, or since it's an open circle, so we will use parentheses. We will start at 6 and we will end up at positive infinity. So this is now the interval notation. Number 2. Suppose we have 6x minus 5 is less than or equal to 19. Okay, so to find the possible values of x, so we will transpose 5 to the other side of the inequality. So we have 6x is less than or equal to 19 plus 5. So 6x now is less than or equal to 24. Divide both sides by 6. So x now is less than or equal to 4. To sketch that in the number line, so suppose this is 4 here. So 4 is included in the solution. So we will draw a closed circle. So x is less than or equal to 4. So we will shade going to the left, to the negative infinity. So to write that in interval notation, let's start from the left. So we will have negative infinity and we will stop at 4. Since it's a closed circle, meaning 4 is included in the solution, so we will use bracket then. So that is number 2. So we have the graph and we have the interval notation. Number 3, we have 8 minus 2x is greater than negative 4. So, again, we will transpose 8 to the other side of the inequality. So what left is negative 2x is greater than negative 4 minus 8. So we will have negative 2x is greater than negative 12. Since we have negative 2 as the coefficient of x, so we will divide both sides with negative 2. Negative 2. If we multiply negative numbers to the left and to the right of the inequality, so this symbol will change. Instead of greater than, it will become less than. Again, the reason there is that because we divided the inequality by negative 2. So any negative number, so if it's greater than, it will become less than and otherwise. So what left here now is x, and negative is positive 6. So our x should be less than 6. So to sketch the graph here, so if this is 6, 6 is not included, so it's an open circle. So it says that x is less than, so going to the left of the number line. So that is now the graph of the inequality. And to write that in interval notation, so we will start from the left, so this is left, and that is right. So we will have negative infinity, and we will stop at positive 6. Okay, so that's number 3. Okay, for number 4. For number 4, we have here 2 over 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 6. Now, since we have fraction here, I think it's easier for us to eliminate these 3 first. And to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to multiply 3 to the whole term, or to every term. So if I multiply 3 here, this will be cancelled out. And so what left here is 2x, or I will like 3 times 2 over 3 x minus 3 times 4, 6 times 3. So I will multiply 3 first to every term in the inequality so that it's more clear. Now, I can cancel this one out. So what left is 2x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 18. I will transpose 12 on the other side. So we have 2x is greater than or equal to 18 plus 12. So 2x now is equal to or greater than or equal to 30. Divide both sides by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 15. Okay. To sketch the graph, so we will have now our final answer is x is greater than or equal to 15. So to sketch the graph, suppose this is 15. 15 is included, right? So it's a closed circle. And x is greater, so it should be going to the positive infinity. So this is the left and this is the right. So we have 15 is included. To write that in interval notation, we use bracket. We write 15 and we will stop at positive infinity. Number 4. As you can see, in number 5, we have 2 numbers here as our denominator. So we have 3 and we have 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the LCM of 3 and 4, which is equal to 12. And what will happen now is I'm going to multiply every term by 12. So I have 12. I will copy 2/3 minus. I will multiply 12. So I have 5 over 4x. Greater than 3. I will multiply 12 again. So this will be cut out. So that is 4. This will be cut out. That is 3. And then I'm going to multiply that later on. So here we have 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 3 times 5 is 15x. Greater than 36. I'm going to transpose 8 to the other side of the equation. So what left is negative 15x is greater than 36 minus 8. So negative 15x is now greater than 28. So I'm going to divide both sides with negative 15. And so as I told you, if we multiply negative number, this symbol will change. So we will have now x is less than 28 over 15. So that is negative. So the final answer is x is less than negative 28 over 15. So in the number line, how are you going to sketch the graph? Suppose this is negative 28 over 15. So since negative 28 over 15 is not included, so I will draw an open circle. So it says that x is less than. So we are going to the left. So to the negative infinity. So this is the left side, right side. So to write that in interval notation, so we have negative infinity to negative 28 over 15, not included, so it's a parenthesis. That's all for today. Have a good day.